News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk, KGVO, AM 1290 and 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
Good morning. A family living with a dead body for more than 2 months. This is John King filling in for Peter Christian, who's out with a little bit of sickness today. Your newscast brought to you by the Mustard Seed Asian Cafe in Southgate Mall. Our headline story: a western Montana woman says her family, including 2 children, lived for more than 2 months in a trailer with the decomposing body of her husband's 18-year-old cousin in the shower, covered with clothes. The body of Robert Warner was found back in June 2nd in the trailer near Arlee. Court records say Cassandra Cease told Lake County investigators that she and the children were in that trailer with her husband when he beat Warner with a hammer in mid-February, and that they lived there until early May before moving to Idaho. Following up on an investigation, Lake County Sheriff Don Bell said yesterday that arrests have been made in this case.
Pursuant to an investigation into a homicide of 18-year-old Richard Warner, whose deceased body was located in a camper on Combs Lane in Arlee, arrest warrants were issued for Stephen and Cassandra Cease for deliberate homicide.
Bell said that both suspects were arrested on out-of-state warrants.
Stephen Cease was already incarcerated in Shoshone County Jail in Idaho for probation violation charges and has waived extradition to Montana. Cassandra Cease was arrested at her mother's home in Springdale, Washington, by Stevens County Sheriff's Office.
Bell said that Stephen Cease was charged with deliberate homicide, while Cassandra Cease was charged with accountability to deliberate homicide. They're both being returned to Montana to face charges. A 33-year-old man was arrested at the Billings bus station after officers found 112 pounds of marijuana in his luggage. The Billings Gazette reports Dwee Wynn was charged Wednesday with criminal possession and intent to distribute. He did not enter a plea in justice court. Prosecutors say police responded to Jefferson Lines on Tuesday after a baggage handler noticed some suspicious luggage. Tuesday's bust was the third on a Jefferson Lines bus in just a week. A 19-year-old man was arrested in Billings on Sunday with 33 packages of marijuana in his luggage, and 3 men were arrested on May 31st after arriving in Gillette, Wyoming on a Jefferson Lines bus based on a tip from Montana officials. Officers found 93 pounds of marijuana with a street value of about $600,000. The brand new facade of the Red Robin at Southgate Mall now has a giant gash after a car flew into it early yesterday morning. Southgate Mall security guard Steve Irwin was on duty at the time of the incident.
It appears that somebody drove through our parking lot at high rate of speed, hit a rather large speed bump, went airborne, lost control, drove up onto the sidewalk, threw a planter, and struck the front of the building at Red Robin.
Now officials are working on identifying that vehicle.
We do not know what vehicle it is. We have an idea what color it might be. We have found some parts that may lead the police to an actual make and model. It has a lot of front end damage, and it's got pretty bald rear tires because they spun out trying to get back over the berm where the planter was.
A police officer had driven by that location at 3 in the morning and saw no damage, but then saw the gash when he drove back by at around 3:05. So the time when the incident could have happened has been narrowed down to just a few minutes. Hopefully investigators can help solve this mystery. A former assistant football coach at Sweetgrass County High School in Big Timber has received a deferred sentence for having sex with a teenage student. The Billings Gazette reports that 25-year-old Mitchell Burkell was given a 6-year deferred sentence at a hearing in Sweetgrass County District Court on Wednesday. He pleaded guilty to felony sexual intercourse without consent back in February. The deferred sentence, which follows the recommendation of a plea agreement, means the conviction could be removed from Burkell's record if he follows the conditions of his sentence, which include a $4,000 fine and designation as a sex offender. Burkell was charged in March 2015 after the girl told investigators in 2014 when she was 15, she met Burkell at a football game to have sex. After more than a week of 24/7 patrols, Mineral County Sheriff Tom Bauer and Under Sheriff Mike Boone can finally take a day off. According to Teamsters Local 2 spokesman Sean Fontaine, deputies, dispatchers, and detention officers went back to work yesterday morning and ended their strike.
We were able to get a date secured with the mediator and that will be next Wednesday, the 15th, at 10 a.m., where we'll start the mediation process. And in a show of good faith, because of the situation with public safety and the nature of the job that these members perform, we agreed that we would go back to work as soon as we had a mediation date set.
Fontaine says the county commissioners responded and set the date for mediation on Wednesday. Union leaders hope both sides can meet in the middle.
We have our proposals that we come in with. The county has their proposal that they come in with, and somewhere in the middle is where the agreement is. We just need to get there. You know, I don't expect us to get everything that we're asking for, and I really hope that the county doesn't expect that the one offer that they made us is satisfactory, because obviously that led to the strike.
If the mediation doesn't work, Fontaine says the strike may resume, but deputies will be out on patrol at least until then.